Well, this is an update to a story we covered yesterday because we talked about a story in particular of good old Obama and Biden speaking. They were speaking rather intensely at the funeral of Ethel Kennedy. Now, Obama, Biden, and good old horn dog himself, Bill Clinton, were all there, but everyone was focused on the conversation between Biden and Barack Obama. And let's be clear, folks, it looked pretty intense. So, what were they talking about? What were they addressing? So, first of all, this is just a shorter version of the video, just so all of you can see it with your own two eyes as well. Washington. And the New York Post apparently hired a lip reader. President Biden griped to former President Barack Obama that her, who are we talking about, is not as strong as me, with Obama agreeing that's true in a stunning off-mic conversation deciphered by the Post by a professional lip reader. Folks, now listen, if there are professional lip readers or you know one, I did post the original video in our other first video commentary, so let's just look at this. Hold on. Let me mute it because music. But look there. Yeah, she's not. Almost seems like they're trying to negotiate. They're trying to address something very seriously, like what is going on. Now, of course, anything be left up to interpretation, but who are they saying is not as strong as me? Who are they addressing? The who, the bird goes tweet, and an owl goes who. Well, there's one person running that's not as strong as Biden, whose poll numbers were lower than Biden before the election started. First name Kamala, last name Harris. Now, don't tell that to the vote blue no matter who, people. But I'm going to have democracy in the chat. Maybe some of you haven't blocked them yet, but I still have them still reaching out to me. I still get emails and text messages from the Democrats. And has anybody noticed the absolute desperation from Democrats sending you emails and text messages? Has anybody noticed they're really begging hard for money? It's almost as if there's something that corporate media has been purposely hiding from us. It's almost as if there's something that Democrats don't want to admit, and that is, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, Kamala sure is struggling. Type 1 for, no, kid, I'm not getting those kinds of messages. A type 2, oh, I am getting those messages, and they're scared. They are scared. So let's read this article from the New York Post, okay? So what is it exactly they're saying? Or at least, again, anything can be interpreted, but so far, don't look me in the eye and tell me that Fox News or any other media source isn't going to hire a lip reader to read this. It's important that we ascertain things, but that was an intense back and forth conversation. And remember, body language is key. Obama wasn't even looking at Biden at some points, and having your arms crossed like this, it's a defensive move. It's not a sign of strength. Okay? So, President Biden griped to former President Barack Obama that she is not as strong as me, with Obama agreeing that's true in a stunning off-mic conversation deciphered for the Post by a professional lip reader. The apparent candidate assessment of Vice President Kamala Harris standing going into the November 5th election occurred Wednesday afternoon as America's two most recent Democrat presidents conversed at Ethel Kennedy's memorial service in Washington. She's not as strong as me, said Biden 81, according to the translation, which was produced by analyzing the online lip movement during discussion. Why did I struggle reading that? What's going on? I know, that's true. The popular former president agreed, adding, we have time. Oh, we have time, Obama? Yes, folks. You're watching Hardlands Media. We have time. Well, let's do some counting. We got a 2, a 4, a 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Oh, my goodness. 18 more days. 18 more days. 18 more days. Oh, actually, correction, 17 more days till November 5th. 17 more days. What do you have time to do, Obama? Jerk off in a corner? Yeah, okay, go ahead, buddy. World's your oyster on that one. 17 more days. Go ahead. Oh, we got to do it. We got to vote for Kamala. So there you go. And not to mention the most former popular president. Hey, folks, you think Obama's popular now? Type 3 for yes, kid. He was the most popular president in the whole wide world. A type 4 man. I don't like Barack Obama. I wonder how many fours will be in the chat. Oh, I wonder. Don't worry, folks. Participation for this episode of Hard Lens Media is going to be mandatory. Yeah, we'll get it in time, said Biden, who was forced to follow Democrats who relinquished the party's nomination in favor of Harris on July 21st, and a mutiny that Obama was believed to have supported. Moments earlier, Obama said it is important that we have some time together, in a possible reference to campaigning alongside Harris. A good luck. The dialogue was translated for the Post by Jeremy Freeman, a London-based forensic lip reader who was born deaf and for 16 years has served as University College London certified expert witness for litigants, the police, and journalists. Oh my goodness. Although Harris' name was not included in Freeman's transcription, it's unclear to whom else the conversation would have pertained to. Well, who else would they have been talking about? There's only somebody who's running for president. They got time. But for who? A bird goes tweet and an owl goes who? Freeman described the conversation as very supportive and said he detected no tension between Obama and Biden, as had been speculated by the viral commentary due to Obama shaking his head at one point. Shaking his head, not looking Biden, arms crossed. I don't know. Body language tells me that Obama is very uncomfortable. Perhaps he needs to get a new chef. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. That was wrong. Was that mean? Yes, it was. But maybe he needs a new chef. Maybe he's not getting enough good nutrients in his diet, Maybe he should start surfing out more, Quite suspicious. The Democrat sources were divided when asked about the translation, with some saying that they believe it was an honest take on the state of the 2024 race, and others expressing such strong disbelief that they question the accuracy of the script. From the outset, there has been widespread concern that Harris is not a strong alternative to Biden, who clearly was a sinking ship. Oh, really? He was a sinking ship? Gee, Democrats, you said he was so strong and powerful that he was running circles around his staff. Perhaps running circles around his staff because, he didn't want to put on a new diaper. So much of that, multiple House members floated the idea of an open convention or removing Harris from the ticket along with Biden, said one Democratic source. Oh, my goodness. Democrats essentially robbed Peter to pay Paul and are now stuck with a less likable sinking ship. Biden spokesman Andrew Bates scoffed, a lip-reading expert? Ha! Did your usual right-wing soothsayer have their out-of-office up? Oh, my goodness. Only President Biden and President Obama know what they discussed, but that certainly wasn't it. Then what was it? What was it? What were they talking about? A source close to Obama didn't deny the translation. What? Only President Obama and President Biden know what they discussed yesterday. Any assertion otherwise is ridiculous. Two former Biden White House officials who are also working to support Harris' candidacy, meanwhile, told the Post that they were stunned by the transcript and doubted that it could be accurate, with one urging a new lip reader and the other saying it's not even like Biden to say that. Really? Biden said a lot of stuff, like how he didn't want to have his white kids to be his black kids. Remember that? Or him browbeating and yelling down to Anita Hill. What about him saying that he would gladly prostitute himself to corporations? Or what about when Biden said that he's never sorry, not sorry, for the prison bill that he wrote? Biden said a lot of things. But folks, let's actually look at what's going on, especially in key battleground states, because there is some concern. All right? A lot of concern. And there are states like Wisconsin, good old Wisconsin, the great state of Pennsylvania, and so many others that are up for grabs in this election cycle. And Harris is struggling, folks.
As you see it, can she get to 270 without those states?
It'll be very tough, Erin. So let's sort of look, we're going to look at the road to 270 electoral votes. We'll give Donald Trump the state of Georgia, where he's leading the polls. We'll give him North Carolina, where he has perhaps a slight advantage in the polls. And we'll give him the state of Arizona, where he has a slight advantage in the polls. That gets him to 262 electoral votes. Kamala Harris's path to 270 electoral votes.
Abiding. I know you're trolling. I know you're joking. But listen to this. Hold on. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it in a panic liberal voice. Kamala is lost. We must rally for a Buttigieg and Klobuchar 2028. Listen, Abiding 71. If that ticket comes into reality, mandatory 100 push-ups, buddy. Okay? Abiding, I love you. But that's in 4 years, you better train up to do 100 push-ups, man. And you know what? because I don't believe in hazing. I'm going to have to train myself too. So on that day, if it does happen, live stream 100 push-ups. All right, there you go. Don't think I forgot, because now I got to train now, buddy. Because of you. We're in this together, buddy. Now we're in this together.
Runs through the Great Lakes, right? We've been talking a ton about Pennsylvania, right? Let's give her that. We'll give her Michigan as well. And then we'll give her Wisconsin. What does that get Kamala Harris to? Exactly 270 electoral votes. Now, if she loses in Wisconsin, we'll turn that state red. Now, all of a sudden, Donald Trump gets to 272 electoral votes. Now, Kamala Harris can get back to 270 by winning Wisconsin, all right? Or excuse me, winning Arizona. That gets her to 271 electoral votes. But now, if we take away Michigan as well as Wisconsin, what happens? Donald Trump gets to 276 electoral votes. Even if Kamala Harris were, say, to win in Nevada, that only gets her to 262. Now she has to win down here in the Southeast. Either Georgia, we can give her that. That would get her to 278 electoral votes. Or if we were, in fact, to give her North Carolina, that would get her to 278 electoral.
Yes, because North Carolina is more than happy to support Kamala and Biden after they got hit with that hurricane. You know, I got viewing audience members that still don't have no freaking power in their house, Biden and Kamala. I got some of my people down there who are hurting in North Carolina, in Georgia, in South Carolina, in Florida. Where's their relief? Oh, one time $750. But gee, according to everything I've been seeing online, people sure are struggling going through that red tape to get that $750. Hey, maybe Obama and Biden are right. Maybe she really isn't as strong as Biden, huh? What does that say?
Votes. But the bottom line here, Aaron, is really simple. Kamala Harris's best path moves through the Great Lakes. If she loses in Wisconsin and Michigan, then she has to completely change things up, and it's a much more difficult road to 270.
Right, and ironically, also the fastest path could still take days, but all of a sudden, when you start, waiting on states like
you know what, I think I'm figuring it out. CNN and MSNBC are slowly bracing its viewers for Kamala to lose. Like, okay, guys, all right, we got to have the big talk and tell them that Santa Claus, leprechauns, Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, they don't exist.
Nevada, North Carolina, you could be waiting weeks. All right. So we've talked a lot, Harry. You've done a lot of reporting on the math of this. Harris's outreach to Black voters, and she's been working at turnout and turning people over, right? Winning people over, Black men specifically. But in Wisconsin, and where she is tonight in Green Bay, you believe it's white voters who will get her over the finish line.
Oh, hey, remember when liberals used to say to Black voters, to Latino voters, and now they're all for the white voters. Oh, liberals. I know I actually been called out a little bit. Hey, kid, you don't really say a lot of mean things about Trump or Republicans. Well, I mean, everything that's been said about Republican politicians has been said. And yes, we have. It's just, man, liberals make this way too easy, man. And not to mention, am I still angry with their actions and behaviors from all their little protests and their hypocrisy? Yes, I am. I'm still furious at them. Very furious. And I have many legit reasons. So many people, so many smug attitudes, and how they just quickly spread themselves open to be inseminated by the Democratic Party. I know that's a horrific image to put in your heads, but that's how I feel about the Democrats. So yes, maybe Barack Obama and Biden are right. Hey, let's have democracy in the chat. You think Obama and Biden were talking about Kamala and saying that she's weak and not strong, and that they're a little bit worried and they might still have time? Type 5 for no, kid. That's not true at all. They were talking about something else. Shame on you. Type 6 if yeah, and they're scared too. I wonder how many 6s will be in the chat. Mandatory participation. Follow the orders.
If she wins?
That's exactly right. So let's take a look at Wisconsin. What's going on in Wisconsin? Well, look at white voters in Wisconsin. You go back to the result in 2020, right? Donald Trump won them by 5 points. You look at where the polling average is today. Donald Trump's only up by a point. Why is that so important? Because take a look here. Look at the swing states, white voters in the swing states. Look what percentage white voters make up in Wisconsin. 88%, 10 points more than any other swing state. Far more than Georgia at 56 or Arizona at 64. White voters are very important in Wisconsin, and Kamala Harris is doing better than Joe Biden did 4 years ago.
88%. That's sometimes numbers just give you pause, make you think. All right, so then you go to Michigan. You're talking about the path through the Great Lakes, Harry. But I'm curious about one place in Michigan because Harris and Trump are both going to be there tomorrow. So they're both going to be in the same place the same day, not just the same state, the same county, Oakland County. What makes that county so important?
Well, what makes Oakland so important? Well, look at this. Look how many votes that are at 434,000 that Joe Biden got, 325,000 Donald Trump got. Joe Biden did very well there, won it by 14 points, considerably better than Hillary Clinton did 4 years prior, which she only won it by 8. So the bottom line is Kamala Harris, Oakland County, very important.
It's amazing. And it all comes down to that, just such small specifics. That's what it takes to win. Harry, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, let me just say this. There is fear. I smell blood in the water. It's a feeding frenzy. And Kamala doesn't have what it takes. Perhaps maybe the Democrats are trying to come to terms with the fact of you can't really create another Obama momentum because Obama was a phenomenon in 2008. I mean, it was a listen, folks, I think we all remember campaign Obama. I think we all remember the momentum and the aftermath of the Bush-Cheney administration. And I myself was blinded by it. I myself was tricked by it. I believed in the hope and change. And there was a window of opportunity in which good things could have happened. But Obama was just another neoliberal Democrat who just knew how to speak better than Bush Jr. and didn't have a puppet master. Well, maybe he did have puppet masters all the way up to Wazoo, but it wasn't as noticeable like how Cheney was. But they know that Kamala's numbers suck. Now, again, to comfort the liberals, to give you comfort and joy, maybe voter turnout will be high for Kamala. Maybe people will pity Kamala. But seeing this president and how she acts, how she represents herself, how she presents herself to the American people, she's a joke. And everyone knows it. Everyone's talking about it. Never forget that she wasn't voted in. She was appointed, anointed. She didn't earn the victory after the Democratic primary. It was given to her because Biden crapped his pants. And now Bill Clinton, Obama, Biden, and every single other liberal, you're crapping your pants because maybe, just maybe, you guys are in for one serious gut check. And all that I'm going to do is laugh. And even if you do win, well, Kamala made sure nothing would fundamentally change. She said she wouldn't change anything during the 4 years of Biden in office. So to the American people, the nightmare will continue on. And World War III could be knocking at our door. Economic disparity still going on. Tell me, folks, does that sound like a perfect future? Now, I'm not saying things would be better under Trump, but Democrats, you're failing at the key thing right now, and that is trying to sell that your candidate's better. And if Bill Clinton, Obama, and Biden are all there shaking their heads or nervous, maybe that's the beginning of the end. 17 more days, Democrats. That's what you got. 17 more days. I'm not going to wish you good luck because I don't like you guys. There, liberals, I said it. I don't. Your smug attitudes earned my disrespect towards you. But if you need a shoulder to cry on, don't lean on me. Just stand still so I could film you as you're having your meltdown.